Thanks for tuning in to the Choose Optimism podcast brought to you by Optimist International. Today we're talking with Suzanne Brown from the Fusion Optimist Club of New Kingston. Suzanne, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
One of these things we always talk about on this podcast is your Optimist story. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Optimist organization.
Okay, Shane. I might be off a couple of years, so bear with me. So I started my Optimist journey with the Manor Park Optimist Club. That was back in 2018, 2017, 2018, round about there. I was president 2 years for that organization. I believe I have learned a lot, and I had a lot of friends from different walks of society. Hence, I said, you know what? I think I can form a club on my own with all the friends that I know that also know friends. And that's where Fusion came about, and the name Fusion because we are from different ages, different backgrounds. Hence, we came up with the name Fusion. So Fusion Optimist Club of New Kingston, it was birthed. We called ourselves the COVID babies. We were born in the height of COVID in Jamaica, where COVID started in 2021, and we were chartered then. It wasn't hard for us to be chartered because everything was online. So all of our friends wanted something to do. And then our meetings to this date is still online because it's very difficult to get a home. But we do have a base that we operate from when we are doing fundraising. So when we started Fusion, now we had a lot of projects because I took some of the ideas I had from the former club into Fusion, and we had our board, which we had a lot of young persons who were enthused. So we built on those and made them a lot better. So and when we started, the government was one of our biggest help because it was in COVID. We had a health fair that we wanted to do. Now, the health fair, as you would understand, we were social distancing back then. Now, it was going to be with a primary school. To this date, we still have that health fair. It is kept at the end of every school year. In Jamaica, the school year closes off about the first week in July to the second week. So the health fair is to help students who are transitioning into high school. So it would be 1 graders who are coming into the primary school. You guys would call it middle school. They would need to do a medical. And then for the outgoing students, which are 6th graders who are heading to high school, you would call them senior back in your country. So the health fair would cater to those students. Usually it's about collectively, depending on the school that we choose, it would be over 100 to 150 children that we're working with. Now, we definitely needed the government help, and because we have to have the health department involved, and the ODPM, the Office of Disaster Preparedness involved. We had to get permission from the government to hold it. Now, they were also excited, so they assisted us getting these persons on board. We got a lot of fundraising, and most importantly, we applied to the Optimist Foundation for a grant that would help us, and we did get that grant. So we held a massive health fair. The first school that we targeted was St. Richard's Primary. It's in a volatile area, but the school is somewhat of a middle school where we have children from all class of the country that would attend that school. Hence, we chose to do that school. It's a Catholic school, so the priest we got a lot of support from them as well. And because we chose the school, because it's a huge compound, we could do the social distancing, separate the children, have them entertained while they wait to do their medicals. We had a lot of organization on board that came in. The police came to assist us with crowd control. We had security forces that also assisted. So that was our first and exciting huge project. We had another project that year, and this was which we were chartered in October, the October of 2021, and we did a project with a boys' home. We got just to break our icing to let the new members who have never done this before get a feel of what optimism was about in giving back. So we asked our club members, they are to choose a project, and then the board will bring the projects together and decide which one. So the first one was the boys' home. We found out what they wanted. They wanted a printer. And so we got funds together from our friends. Now, remember, we don't have any fund. We could not do any fundraising because it was COVID and we were restricted in movements as well. However, because our circle was so wide, we asked persons to ask their coworkers, their friends to donate. We got a lot of donation. That way we purchased the printer that they wanted. We got printing papers. We also got slippers because they wanted footwear as well. And we bought all of that for them. Now we took the membership to make that donation because we also wanted them to be hands-on. So those who could have made it, they made it as well. So those were the two projects that we executed successfully during the first year that we were chartered.
So it sounds like this medical one for you is a huge project for you guys.
Yes, it is.
Let's go into a little detail about how you guys fundraise for that now to keep that program going.
Okay, so I believe because we had built a base from the onset when we were COVID, Food for the Poor is a huge organization. You might be familiar with them. They help during the Hurricane Melissa. They are a huge organization as it relates to giving back. So they are one of our main contributors. So every year they are always willing to come on board. So what they give us is very important because when we do the health fair, we allow each person that attends the health fair to leave with a care package. Now, the care package consists of food items, toiletries, we have girls' sanitary napkins, and all of those good stuff that they take back that is packed in the care package. Also, now, that is what is key is the doctors. So, of course, we have doctor, all of us go to a doctor. So we would ask our doctors who are available. So the doctors that we used then, we kind of, when we started, we might not have them now because back when COVID, they weren't so busy. So they were willing to come on board. They might have gotten busy now, but what worked for us now, we have recruited about 2 to 3 doctors that are in our club. And they now would extend the invitation to other doctors that they know and nurses. So that part, we have solidified that. Now, other contributions, as I said, it's from the base that we started the initiative with. So we do have companies that are still a part of us. They have never left us. So we manage successfully to hold on to those companies. If we do have a company that might have dropped out, we would find a replacement because the template that we use, it seems to be working for us, so we have not changed it. So that's how we maintain the health fair.
Let's talk a little bit more about the health fair. How many kids participate in this program?
So we have it depending on the school that we use. So what we do is every 2 years we stay in a school. So we've done St. Richard's Primary for 2 years. We moved on to George Headley Primary for 2 years. And we are now with Bridgeport Primary, which we have done 1 year. So we have another year with them because we want to spread the love. And we use schools that are in different areas. So Bridgeport is in the St. Catherine region, which is more where I live in, Portmore. So they are now getting a feel of it.
How many members in your club help make this project possible?
Okay, so I must say, we are not a vibrant club as it relates to when it comes to meetings because we're online and we would have, currently, I think we have about 40 members on roster. But when we have meetings, we would have about 15, there are about 20. However, when we do have a project, we would get over 30 members on board. And then they would bring their family members to assist us, especially for the health fair, because how the health fair is planned. First, we need a location to store the items when we collect them. So the school would be that location. Now we have our pickup members that would, okay, you pick up from that company, you pick up from that company, and then we would head to the school. We have a storage, a school that we uses. They would always give us an area, a secured area to lock away the items. And then the health fair is normally kept on a Saturday because most children, school would be out. Summer school, we have summer school in Jamaica, so summer school doesn't keep on a Saturday, so that's when we keep the health fair. And then the Friday before the Saturday, all hands on deck will turn up to the school in the evening to pack the care packages. So we would have like a factory production on hand where everybody turns out because we have to itemize the product, separate girls from boys, and pack them in the bags accordingly. So we would be packing more than 100 packages on the Friday evening. So for Bridgeport Primary, this is one of the largest primary schools in St. Catherine. So we tend to go more than 150 packages just to ensure that we have enough. We will have leftovers because some of the children might be gone away for the summer, so they wouldn't be turning up at the health fair. But we would pack for Bridgeport more than 150 packages on Friday in preparation for Saturday morning.
Let's talk a little bit about these care packages you guys make because this sounds like it's a huge part of the or project that you guys are doing.
Yes.
So tell us about the packaging and what do you guys include in there and for what reasons for the kids at the school.
Okay, so definitely Lasco Distributors is one of our main sponsors as well. And they give us the sanitary napkins. They also would give us, because we are appreciative and we thank the doctors and the nurses that come out to assist us. So Lasco would also provide the gift baskets for them. Lasco would also be responsible for rehydration. So the rehydration now, so in the care packages, so for the girls, we would have the sanitary napkins, rehydration, that's water, juices. This is separate from what they would get on the day because we have children there for the whole day. So we need to rehydrate them, we need to feed them. So that is separate from what we give them in the care package. So they do get rehydration in the care package to leave with. They get snacks, they get rice, they get flour, they get soup, cup soup, they get um, manner of things that they get from the care packages.
And you have a pretty good turnout for your club with this. Over 30 members show up. That's a pretty good record for a turnout for a project.
Yes, because they, Shane, when I tell you that, I always tell new members that join, don't watch the meeting that we do. If you come on and you only see 10 of us, or if you only see 15, don't watch that. Just when you see a project, when we announce and we talk about a project, you turn out at the project and then you'll meet all the other members.
So this being your biggest fundraiser, what is the cost of this usually that you guys fundraise for? What is the cost included into this?
Okay, so our total cost for this fundraiser, even though because you are taught to put a figure to everything, whether you get donations or not, you are to put a figure to it. So in total, our fundraiser would cost little under 800,000 Jamaican dollars.
And businesses in the community support you by funding this event, and that's how you guys fundraise to fund this event.
Yes, that's how we managed to offset 98% of that cost.
So this is the obviously your biggest project. What other projects are you guys involved with throughout the year?
Okay, so we have adopted a home. It's called the Nest Children's Home. So what we do with them is every quarter, every Optimist quarter, we would visit them, and it's a scheduled visit. One of the biggest things that we do with them is in Christmas, we do like a Christmas dinner for them and we take them gifts. Now, we ask each member, there's about 25 to 30 children at that home. So we ask each member to donate, to purchase a gift for them. And it's a new gift we ask them to purchase. So we would get a wish list from the home, what the child might need. Now, mind you, they cannot get electrical devices. So it would have to be more than likely a clothing, toy, and so on. So each member, we would spread the list with their names, their age, just their first name, their age, and 3 items that they would like. And then the membership would select a child. When we go to them in December for the dinner, then we would present that gift to them.
And are these like kids that are in foster homes that you guys are sponsoring? Is that similar to what would be in the States?
Yes. So it's not foster home, it's actually a home, a children's home, meaning that's where they live.
Okay. Well, we're just letting our listeners clarify because, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. But it sounds
Yes.
like it's a great project, though, at Christmas time.
But what happened for us last year, because we had Melissa, we were not able to go to them because we had a huge Melissa project and we didn't go to them until February of this year. So we called it Love Month and we gave them Valentine's. So the gift that we actually did have their gifts, but we couldn't take it to them until February because we were solely focusing on getting a project off to take to the West.
Yes,
So we,
tell us about this project. It's called the Melissa Project.
yes.
So what did that entail for your club?
Okay, so as you know, Hurricane Melissa, one moment. Okay, so Hurricane Melissa ravaged the western part of Jamaica. Now, as a club, we knew that we had to play our part. So we said, okay, guys, let's come up with a project and where we're gonna do it. Now, we did not want to go when everybody was going. That was October, November, too much crowd and to be blunt, it was not safe during that time. And we wanted to coordinate it so well that we didn't have any issue. Now, because based on where I work, we were firsthand. My job, we are firsthand in the Melissa as it relates to electricity and all of that. So we have a lot of coordinators in my company. So I've reached out to one of them, and they decided to help us to coordinate, find a location that we could use that is safe, and they would grant us, safe access, speak to the police. So the coordinator went to the location, got to the police station, arranged everything for us. We reached back out to the same sponsors that we use for our health fair and we told them about what we had going, and then we called it Friends of Hurricane Melissa, Fusion Friends of Hurricane Melissa. So we had individual persons, because we said, guys, we cannot afford to dip into the funding that we have to do this project because it's going to be huge and we need help. So our friends donated cash. We even had a past governor of Optimist. I'm going to call his name Governor Craig because he's one of our biggest supporters. And he was the first one that reached out to us when we advertised what we are going to do. And he assisted us. And he gave us a donation. He kickstarted our donation. And then we start getting from other persons that helped us. We maximized and we got a lot of money. We got a lot of products, and that's what we used. We went to Warsaw, Trelawney. That's the name of the community that we used. It was so organized that how we organized it was we sent out flyers to some of the shops. They're called shops in Jamaica that assisted us in advertising. And when we arrived there, it was on a Sunday that we went there. So everyone in the community was waiting patiently for us. We did the distribution point was at the police station. So the police was there waiting, organized the crowd. We took about 4 vehicles full of items, and these items included clothing, food, clothing for children, all age groups, children, elderly, sanitary napkin, adult diapers. We also had a restaurant that gave us, because we're going to have them there for the whole day, that gave us food to feed them. So we had food that they could eat or take home a meal. We ensure they get a meal when they're leaving.
And so this was helping victims of the hurricane on the coast and just providing them with toiletries and food and stuff of that nature?
Yes, and clothing.
And how many families do you think you served when you did this project?
Okay, so we packed about 120 packages, care packages for this project.
That's a pretty impressive turnout. I mean, and obviously you're affecting everybody that had issues with the hurricane, and it sounds like you had a lot of things going on. How much was your many were club participation for that project?
Okay, so on the day, because we had 2 dates, unfortunately we couldn't get every member to participate because 1, the location, and 2, the transportation. Most of us are from Kingston, so that's far from where we were going. And then we needed the space in the vehicles that were going to carry the packages. So we used 5 vehicles but we didn't have passenger space as per se. So we only could have taken about 10 to 12 persons.
So you had 12 people working on this project. What was the response from the families that you had when you were doing this project?
Oh my, it was so appreciative. They were well behaved when they saw that we were coming from, I'm not sure if you know rural Jamaica. I must have you visit, Shane. And it's their roads are bad for the most part, but the houses are far apart. And when they saw the vehicle coming, they just said, "Hi, welcome, yeah," and they were excited. And when we got to the location now, everyone showed gratitude, even the young children, because we brought back to school items for them because they lost a lot their back to school stuff. We brought them uniform, school shoes, and underwear for both. We bought underwear for everybody, children, adult, man, woman, child, everybody, all different types. So they were very appreciative.
Must make your club feel good when you know that they're making that big of an impact on families in Jamaica.
Yes, it was because also what we saw what happened. Even though we packed 150 care packages, we literally ran out. So, and then there were probably about five or so persons that did not receive care packages. However, because we got cash funding, we did take cash funding because we wanted for persons like if we had some elderly persons who lost like roof, bathroom area, we could give them cash to purchase. So we had cash on us. So we gave the four persons who did not get a care package, we gave them money to buy stuff.
What would you tell clubs that are listening if they're struggling to find a fundraiser or something, having getting involvement from their club members? What would you tell them to say, hey, this is how we jump started our club. You could try this, or what advice would you have for a club?
Okay, so I'm going to use the advice and the format that we use. Now, we are asked to do a fundraiser every quarter. We really do try to do that. So what we find is because we are busy persons, we do have our work and our personal lives. So we have that to focus on as well. Now, for my club, how do we raise funds? We have two fundraisers that we do that has been our mandate, our staple. So we do like it's called a benefit play. Jamaicans love to laugh. They love to dress up and go out in the evenings. So there's a play production that always happening. So we ensure that we purchase one of the benefits every quarter. They would have these performances, I think 2 times for the year. They would have it in December, a new production in December, and the December one would run up until May the following year, and then they would have a summer production. So we ensure that we purchase one night from each of these production, and this one night we would raise over $100,000 because we would have persons buying tickets, but they might not be turning up, but they just want to contribute. And then now we do raffle. We would buy some appliances and we would raffle them off. Now remember, we are a virtual club, so we don't really go out, but we would sell these tickets virtually. Now each member would collect their tickets. They would sell them to, we just use advertisement to sell all of our products. We use online advertisement, free advertisement to sell the play tickets. We put them on our Instagram page, that's Fusion Instagram page, Fusion Facebook page, our personal pages, run them on our WhatsApp status, and we would sell off our tickets in less than a month. For the raffle, same thing.
Well, Suzanne, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you sharing your experience with your club and your part of the world, because this is the first. A lot of people don't realize how active the Jamaican clubs really are in down there.
Yes. Thank you so much, Shane, for having us. And I'm really happy to share my club, Fusion Optimist Club of New Kingston, our platform.